Hello guys and welcome to another replay cast from Big Scuba. I'm going to go through some of the gold replays on gamereplays.org and cast them, see what gold replays look like over the years. There's only been 19 in total, so you'd expect that they're sort of the best of the best, but obviously what might have been considered good 10 years ago, not necessarily so now. So we'll just go through. We're going to start having a look at a few of them one by one and just seeing how they turn out basically. So the first one I've just downloaded is two of the most two of the best recent players over the last few years, probably considered the best two players of the game in the past 5 years or so, maybe a little bit more. Rage and Size. Rage has, of course, left the game now. I'm sure he'll be back at some point, but he's been out for probably 18 months or so. And Size is currently playing a little bit, not super active. As you know, he was knocked out of the World Series by Boyka in the first round, so a little dent to his current level. Whether Boyka was just playing well on the day and Size was playing bad, or we're not too sure. But anyway, let's head into the game and see what we've got. So we've got Stealth on the bottom, and that's Mad Rage in his typical cyan colour, and we've got Size on the top in tank. And this is a clan war match from around about 2012, I think, maybe a little bit earlier, back when Size was, of course, in the greatest zero-hour clan of all time, Mental. Uh, Feel free to head back over the forums and clan wars to see how great we were. Of course, that's a clan that was ran by myself and Op Snyder back in the day. Um, yeah, pretty interesting back in those 10 years ago, running the clan war days. A better time, I think. But anyway, back to the game. So this is, of course, back on the original tournament desert, which had cars, which have obviously been removed recently because they were seen to be imbalanced. Unfortunately, there's been maps created then with even more cars in. Uh, I'm not sure where the idea behind that came, but for instance, you've got Gorge Drought, which has like 6 or more cars. So yeah. Okay, so there was a hijacker from Stealth, but failed to start. Got a standard 2 supply build order from Size, 2 supplies, 2 war factories, and he's just spamming out Gatling tanks, dragons, outposts. Stealth has gone for standard as well, 2 supply build. He's got good map control, pushing up on the right side, trying to pick off a few units. Of course, these are just for scouting and picking off what he can at the moment. He can't really engage in a full battle. He will lose. While he was doing that, he allowed Size to clear the middle completely, so that's a big blow. He's got Palace going up on the right side, he's captured the oil, but yeah, he's that's another poor engagement. So he has lost pretty much all of his army from these few quads, which there's no way they can engage this. So he's going to need something more to stop this. There we go, so yeah, whole army is cleared up. Going to save 2 quads. But if he hijacks the Battlemaster and overdrives the tank into now, yeah, oh, but that's nice to place the bomb, but at least that will slow down the attack, give him a chance to recover and probably get a bus out maybe. He is making his war factory over here since this one's going down. Yeah, he's going to try and save it, so he's going to sell off this base here, I think. He should do anyway, yeah. He can't save this. And yeah, he's going to palace him over here and probably getting a bus out, and here comes the bus, which he should be able to take out this whole army. Size is collecting off 4 supplies now, and he's getting his command centre up and a prop centre, so currently you'd say that Size is in a much better position. Rage has kept up, but a lot of damage. But overall, the map presence size, it definitely puts him in a better position. So it'd be interesting to see how well might do. And actually, yeah, his bus is absolutely tearing up the tank general here, which, as we know, tank general can't make any long range units, and yeah, buses are super effective against them, especially against the Battlemasters, and also provide really fast general points motions. Okay, so we've got a bus out, sorry, a MiG out here from the side, because he's on 4 supplies. He's able to get MiGs as well as spam out 2 more factories. He should be getting a bunker up here, rather than just putting these units in. He should put a bunker up, some mines over, and that was a 4-pop. Napalm MiGs managed to take out pretty much the whole army and put the bus down to the hole. I think as well, because it's on the hill, sometimes it's bugs, but that one's okay. So Rage is starting to get his black market up. He's got one here, got a fake here. Size just spamming out units still. Now captures oil, which is a little bit late, 9.5 minutes in. You want to be getting that much earlier. Rage has had this oil the whole game, which it definitely helped when the side pushed him out of his main supply. But Size still is collecting from 3 supplies and got his oil up. There's a bus wasted there for Rage. He'll need to play a couple of units. It's a nice force fire from Size to take out the jump, which was of course stealth, but he just guessed where it would be. So Raid's now got 3 black markets up and he's building a 4th. Which is definitely a smart move here, because while the tank general can't really go for a secondary economy that well because of the hackers being so susceptible and so expensive, it does sort of make sense for Rage to sort of bunker up, get black markets, a few more buses up, hold on to his oil here. And he's just going to hope for probably bad MiG strike, try and pop out, kill the MiGs, and hope that they can turn the game that way. So he has sniped down this down here, but got a nice MiG strike to take out the black markets. And actually, Size has now got up his hacker center, his internet center, and he's filling it up with hackers. He's got a good map presence, to be honest. In the middle, he's got a few units. He's got a few units either side. He's got a bunker up here, so he can defend quite well. He's waiting here though, which he didn't need to do, but he needs to save it. He could have saved it, but I think he's going to stay there and he's going to lose that. Yeah, there's no need to do that. Got 4 MiGs flying around, second airfield up, which is useful to replace the MiGs and to get the additional MiGs. But it's also good if the airfield gets taken down, you can just move into this one. Although putting them next to each other is probably not the smartest idea in that case. This bunker here, very full, so it's not really, Rage can't really push through there at the moment. He should also get mines as well, just in case he that's a mistake from Rage there. He's lost the German Kel to the bunker, which, yeah, big mistake, should have saved that. The Size has taken down the oil now. So now that the oil's down, you can just concentrate on these markets, which Rage does have quite a few. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put a 6th up. Size has got full hacker center for the 12 hackers and an oil. Hackers, I think it works out 4 hackers per black market, so he's got about 3 black markets plus the oil, roughly probably about 4 black markets I think it works out to. So it's pretty even on money at the moment, because Size is also still collecting from the middle. He's got a fairly big army here, and auto loaders now, but he could do with a couple of Gatling tanks because there's only one ECM. He sniped that yet, so these now that was really poor pop. What Size Ray should have done is popped out and maybe spread out some RPGs since the ECM had been sniped. But yeah, so we're going to see a big push here from Size, and I'm not too sure what Rage has got to stop this, to be honest. The only thing is, Size can't actually see these stealth markets, allowing Rage to collect money without him knowing, and they still haven't been revealed. Maybe he should know because of the gap that his units are taking. But yeah, looks like it has been cleared up though, thanks to this mob which did clear up the queue. And yeah, so managed to clear up this pretty much this whole attack to one side, but the next attack has come in, sort of pincered it. And we have now got a Gatling tank, which could have been useful. Last time we should take out the mob pretty good. And he is pushing through quite well here, actually. And he should just keep spamming through the middle, which he is doing. He needs to reinforce with the MiGs and spam through, maybe a couple of Dragon tanks, get some flame walls. And that is the bus going down, but he's letting his Gatling tanks die, so he's got to keep the Gatling tanks alive to counter the mobs. Without the Gatling tanks, the mobs tend to die. And the Tox bomb does scare him off. He has to run away. And that will slow down the attack for a little bit. But I think what he should be doing now is, clearing up the middle while he can, because this supply here for Rage, giving him, he's got at least 7-8k here to collect. So, we've got a sneak attack, which was timed very nicely, just as the MiGs were bouncing. And actually, Size hasn't got anything to sort of stop this. He's got to sell all these buildings. Yeah. He had to sell them because if he kept it, and then Rage could build a Dragon tank in his own base. But yeah, that's actually done quite a lot of damage. He got rid of MiGs, both airfields and a war factory, and he's bought himself time against his bunker up over here. And he has got a lot of RPGs and another tunnel going up. Will force Size back here. I think actually now suddenly it looks like a much better position for Rage. He's got a lot more cash than Size has. But yeah, I think with the oil and the 12 hackers it's okay, but I mean you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a 6th market. I suppose actually it's still quite even because now these hackers are getting promoted. They do collect more money. And once they're fully promoted, 4 hackers does collect a lot more than a market per minute. But yeah, the game has sort of stabilised. Still no MiGs on the field, he hasn't been able to rebuild it yet. His buses are just wrecking the rest of the units. One bus took out sort of 5 Gatlings there and scared off the Battlemaster. And he will take out a hacker as well. Size does still have the middle though, so he's still got a lot of map presence, which is good. He hasn't been pushed back completely. But he is letting Rage collect from these black markets quite a bit. He's collecting this supply here, and he's getting the sort of cash bounty when he kills these units. See there, it's only the 10%, so it's not the level 3 cash bounty. But the problem is his bus micro is a little bit off. He's sort of engaging in bad places and losing his buses, which realistically at this point he should have probably been able to save his buses, keep building a few buses up, and just he should be able to hold off any of the attacks the tanks can do. And they should be attacking with his sneak attack, top bombs and stuff. But yeah, Size has now got a few more hackers. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 17, plus the 8 in there. So he's got 25 hackers now, which is pretty decent. That's like worth 7 markets maybe when they're promoted or more, 7 or 8 markets. So, and he has just taken 2 out with an artillery, so he's only against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 markets. So still, the money situation is remaining pretty even. But we have got stealth rebels here taking out all these hackers. He has just killed 8 hackers, which is definitely worth it with one level 1 rebel ambush. And we've got a sneaky stealth worker in the back here, so we can't see this. He would have seen the if he was looking in that position. Yep, you can see the tunnel for 1 second as it's placed, but then you can't see it being built. But yeah, he has managed to spot the tunnel, so that was lucky he was looking at that position. But actually now there's a sneak attack over here, and he will take out the internet centre there, and all the hackers are down. Managed to kill the pretty much the whole army with mines, but he's now only got 6, 7 hackers left versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 markets. So yeah, it's going sort of, the game keeps sort of flip-flopping either way, but it is the general promotions from stealth that's sort of saving him. Each time he's getting in the base with the sneak attack, the rebel ambush, Pox bomb is saving him, because he hasn't really got the army to stop. He has now lost his command center, which he needs to rebuild, because that means he can't use any of his general promotion. Currently, yet again, with no army, he's not really able to hold off this attack. One bush won't be able to stop his DCM and his auto-loaders. Doing the right thing here, she's just trying to pick off his... Yeah, but he didn't fail because the MiGs came in, which was nice from Size. The Size actually is pushing right through here, and he's taking out his market. And he's opening Rage's base up quite a bit. Rage still not rebuilding his command center, even though he has the cash for it. That's a big mistake. He would have a Tox bomb that could take out this sneak attack that he could counter-attack and the rebel ambush still. Definitely a big mistake. But yeah, he has managed to take this attack out. This mod can finish off these units, this RPG here, so he's got an artillery incoming, I think. That factory. Managed to take out a couple of quads as well, which is pretty decent, and that has given Size some time to rebuild a few hackers, which is good because he was running pretty low, and obviously without the oil now. So once again, we've got Rage is on 4 and building a 5th market. Got no command, he's putting his command centre back up finally, and Size has got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 hackers, so still pretty even. That was a weighted cast bomb, really should be hitting the markets or saving it to hit the palace with the artillery. That's the only thing he needs to be hitting at the moment. A mine drop, but that was just a little bit too late. Sort of, the quads came just before it could hit. But the quads did take out a few more hackers again, so Rage is keeping the hacker count down, which is important. Size still just building slowly up his army again. Here comes the Tox bomb again, which is going to take out another 3 hackers. Yep. And also means he can't build any hackers from that barracks at the moment. So he currently just has the 5 hackers and this army through the middle, which again, I don't know what Rage has got currently, but if he has a couple of buses, he should be able to stop this. So what we've got, yeah, so 1 bus, he's got his pods there, but can't really pop out now, Black Napalm and this auto-loader. Over here, he pops out to take this army out, because yeah, there's no battle mass, just Gatlings, which aren't strong versus buses. But yeah, Size has pushed back Rage completely now into, he's just got the palace here and this border down here. But once again, it's going to be the sneak attack and there's just nothing in. Oh, but that's really nice. Oh, but it's really unfortunate. So the EMP managed to take out the army, but not the bus. The bus came out later, but then the MiGs just happened to hit, like came in time to catch the bus, so he managed to save that. So actually, yeah, it's still looking quite good for size. So Rage is still on 5 markets, and he's hidden in this corner. He's got his command center set to gun down now. We've got artillery coming to the market. Still size only on the 5 hackers, so he's not got a big income. Whereas Rage with the 5 markets, well 4 markets now, definitely much better income. Really here he needs an ECM in so he can push forwards and take this palace out, because he's just giving him time to build up markets again. Smart to take out the worker there while repairing the palace. And he's putting up his internet centre again, which is a good idea because, yeah, at the moment his hackers are completely unprotected. And Rage has managed to steal a dragon tank, but he's burnt his own mod there, which is fortunate. Got a dragon tank here doing nothing. This should probably push up and help him take out this here. But yeah, I think, I don't know, now I'd probably say I'd want to be in a Razor position just because of the money advantage and these stealth buses are unprotected, especially if he gets a job and can't stay with it. Really nice micro there to take out the whole army. And because Rage left it so late, he ended up not being able to take out the palace, and he did lose that whole army, which means he's now got only a couple of units. So that is a nice hit. He managed to save the MiG as well. The MiG survived, took out the palace, and he put the bus down to the hole. So yeah, a pretty decent hit. But yeah, we've still got 5th market up from Rage versus just the 8, or I think only 5 hackers maybe from size. And he's got very little army now. These rebels are going to be annoying, all spread out around the base. He's got to chase them around, he's not got a lot of units. We've got a Tox bomb coming in, which I'm not sure where that's going. There, I think that's a bad idea. He maybe should have tried to take out. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the idea of this. Well, actually, he is going to get it. He just managed to get all of the hackers down. So yeah, I think that might be GG. There's no hackers left for size. Rage has just lost almost all his RPGs to the black market there. I mean, it's been a pretty good game. It's been so many backwards and forwards, but I think now, I think finally Rage is going to push through and take the win, just because he has more cash. Size has no cash left. 2 hackers is definitely not enough. Versus, yeah, 4 markets. And the sneak attack, rebel ambush, and tox bomb. If he hits the next sneak attack into the base here, he can take out the airfield, power, war factory, another power plant, and there we go. Size does GG out. I think he's in a much better position for a long time, but he didn't sort of take advantage of it. He kept wasting units in small numbers. He didn't take out the palace, but it was a very good game. You can see why that made it to gold. There was a lot of action. It never really got too boring. So yeah, that's the start of these gold replay casts. So yeah, I think I enjoyed that game. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, and we'll try and hit some more up later today or later this week. Yeah, so anyway, aside from that, I thought we'd just have a quick look at where we're at with the World Series and the current standings, and who we think might win. There's obviously a bit of drama going on the forums with Logica calling out Boyka for dodging him for months, or refusing to play him, and Boyka obviously has got some issues with Logica, doesn't like his personality, his attitude. So yeah, we're always going to have it in 0 Hour. But yeah, all we want to see is the final games. We want to see the World Series final. Boyka is obviously practicing a lot at the moment, spamming. Logica spamming against Size. I've played quite a few games against him. He's looking pretty strong, but so is Boyka. Um, I think overall, though, the advantage for Boyka is if he takes on some of the weirder, newer maps, because he probably plays them a lot more. Um, Logica, I think, generally is the favourite. I think he's the better player. And I think if they're playing mirrors or random reverse, um, it's definitely going to come down to maps for Boyka to pick up the win. I think realistically, it's going to be six. I'm not sure if it's best of 11 or best of 13, but I think it's going to be 6 or 7-3 to Logica. I think will be the final result. De Obviously, depending on the matchups, but I think if they're fairly even matchups, that will happen. I think Logica's got the better chance of winning the Imber matchups against him than Boyka has. But yeah, Boyka's definitely got the chance if he takes on the maps, uh, these unusual weird maps that have been included in the pool. And I think that's been a big impact on this year's World Series. Has been the map pool that sort of got brought in just before the tournament began. Um, like just as the announcement was made for the World Series, all these new maps were announced, which hopefully in the future will change. I think next year's World Series it needs to be planned a lot better. That's definitely not the way I would have done it. Um, Way too many new maps being included in the pool, especially for players that aren't playing that actively, to be able to go ahead and learn sort of 30 maps or more in the space of a few days. Yeah, but it's overall been a pretty decent World Series. There's been some plenty of good games, and yeah, hopefully the finals goes down to the wire and gives us plenty of viewing. It's a shame I won't be able to watch it live because it will be about 3 a.m. my time, so I'll definitely be catching up on them the next day. Anyway, see you soon.